Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. Are you content with what you have, or are you constantly trying to get more and more stuff, newer stuff, chasing that next shiny object that you think will bring, solve your problems or make you feel better? But this morning, when I was looking for a passage to use, I ran across 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter, verse 6. It says, "But godliness actually is a means of great gain when accompanied by contentment." So I took that to be that if I'm content in what I have and what I'm doing and where I'm going and all of those type things, that's next to godliness, as humanly as possible as we can be. Because one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not lust, or grieve what your neighbor has. So if we're not supposed to lust after something or continually try and buy the next bigger, better item that likes our fancy, that we fancy, then we should be content with what we have, and by doing so, we're closer to godliness. And that makes sense when you think about it, because if you're always trying to buy the next new shiny object, either you're broke or you have monthly bills that are at the end of the month after you pay them all. You don't even have money to go to McDonald's and buy a $1 hamburger, because you're constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses. But also, and it is very hard to be content with what you have, especially when you work hard and at the end of the week you see your neighbors in a new car, or they just moved out of a nice house into a nicer house. While we don't know their financial situation, sometimes it does get to you, and you wonder, what am I doing wrong? And that's normal. We're human. We're going to have those thoughts and questions like that. But this passage is telling me this morning that being content with what I have is way better than searching to buy the next new shiny object. So this morning's message, I'm going to try and keep them shorter. I get carried away, I think. But anyway, just today, think about that. Are you content with what you have? And if so, this passage says that's as good as being godliness. Or are you still trying to keep up with the Joneses, or are you trying to pass the Joneses? And if you are, you're not content with what you have. So take a hard look at yourself this morning and think of this passage. 1 Timothy, 6th chapter, 6th verse. "But godliness actually is a means of great gain when accompanied by contentment."